Is it really true that smart women figure it out alone? Is it really true that if you are really competent, you should be able to figure out this whole financial and wealth thing alone? In this episode today, I really want to break that down because this is something that comes up for a lot of really smart women physician, really hardworking women physician. And especially if you've been around like any financial space, right? Many times when you're starting out, people are like, well, maybe you don't need a financial advisor. Maybe you don't need this. Maybe you don't need that. And so maybe you've internalized that to mean that I should really be doing this alone. If that's you, this episode is really, really, really going to help you. I'm Dr. Latifat. I'm the founder of MoneyFit MD, and I'm here to help women physicians live richer, freer, and build wealth. So, many of my women physicians are amazing, capable women. They're badass just like you. Many of us have gone through our residency, our fellowship training, and for the most part, we've gotten lots of accolades from like doing it alone, right? It's like, I was the primary author in this article. I got to the sick and I removed this large polyp by myself, right? And when it comes to life, when it comes to wealth building, we start to think that doing it alone is actually amazing. Doing it alone is badass, right? You have this picture of that modern day woman who has like her arms up, like I'm showing my arms right now. I ain't got no like, I ain't got too much, tone muscle, but you get my point. And so we have started to think that if I do it alone, like badass women do it alone, right? And so we start to internalize that into our finances. And one of the things that I've noticed about many women is women are tired, women are exhausted, right? And yes, in the past, you may have heard people say things like, oh, you don't need a financial advisor. You don't need this. Why are you wasting money paying all those people? And that really is because many times when we hear having a team, when we hear delegation, we've meant that to mean abdication. So we take it and we toss it at anybody and other mama that's available to like just give me relief. Like, I'm just going to hand this over and I'm going to walk away. And then we swing to the other extreme where it's like, okay, I guess now I'm not abdicating, so I got to do it alone. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps, right? Like, this toxic nonsense has literally hurt us so much that women are exhausted from doing it alone, from doing it by themselves. So there is that part of the energy of doing it alone that we're now exhausted. But there's also now the part which is just as important and just as critical, which is time. When I started my own financial journey, I hired a financial advisor and I abdicated. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, like anybody that got a pulse, maybe for you, it's a spouse that you've like completely, you were abdicating to. Anybody with a pulse, they got an M something degree. You don't know if it's like an MBA in dance. I don't know if that exists, right? But the bottom line is you had abdicated things. And so when I decided to take the authority or whatever back, I was like, I don't need a financial advisor. And that's the case. Like, I don't want you to need, I want you to choose. And I will say that about a third or so of the women physicians that I work with inside of the Wealth Village still have their advisor, still has an advisor that they work with. The difference before, when they did not know what maybe they were doing, was they were abdicating, but now they are the CEO of their finances, so they're leading differently. In fact, I will tell you that a lot of my investment is with Fidelity, and I speak with the complimentary Fidelity advisor sometimes to have them just take a look and like that bird's eye view. So if you have that thought of like smart women do it alone, you may be grinding yourself out. You may be burning your energy, but also you are slowing yourself down. You are slowing yourself down. And that is a thought error that you need to like ditch yesterday. You need to, because if you look at it, We are exhausted. You're exhausted. And you look at the things you're doing and you're like, I have so much more to do, but I cannot keep going because I have no energy. It's probably because you're doing it alone. You are doing it alone. And we're done with that like superwoman nonsense. We're here for like the savvy, badass woman that's living a like richer life, freer life, having more energy to like play, hang out with her family, go on a girl's trip, and not grind or like die because she's trying to do it alone by herself. And the truth is this, instead of that thought, the thought that I found to be healthier, to be better, is wealth grows better, healthier in community. It grows better, healthier with the right community, in the right setting. Does not mean that every size or every Tom, Dick, and Harry is the right person for you or the right community for you, right? There are some spaces that you will be in where the things that you're trying to accomplish is going to be like, oh my goodness, no one has ever done this before. Or they're going to go, oh, you're maybe doing too much. Like this, oh, you're doing too much. Isn't that like, aren't you already successful enough? You don't want those kinds of communities because those communities will cause a ceiling and will make it harder for you to grow. What you're looking for is the right space where people go like, yeah, that's amazing. How can we support you? That's amazing. How can we grow you? Like you want to build the right support. So instead of that, like smart people do it alone, it is like the savvy badass woman does it in the right space, in the right community. In fact, I'll share an example of one of our calls inside of the Wealth Village. This is our 12-month community for women that are building wealth, women that like want to grow in community, women that want to grow their net worth, but they want to live a richer life. They don't want money at the sacrifice of their life. And they don't want to wait till like age 65 before they leave their life. They want freedom and they want wealth sooner than later. And I remember one of our women, badass woman physician, who was coming into a new season for herself. She was coming into a place that she had never been before, where she was not only working clinically, but also achieving other things outside of clinical medicine. You know, she was a speaker. She was well known in her world of influence, right? And she had a moment where she was like, I'm feeling like overwhelmed, right? And you can imagine someone like that, where if they were doing it by themselves or were doing it alone, they would make it mean that, oh, maybe I've reached my cap. Maybe I've reached my ceiling. But because she was in a community, she was in our community, I'm her coach. And so when she verbalized that, my goal, my job is to have a bird's eye view, is to have a different vantage point that what she's looking from. Because for you that are listening, you may be like inside of your life. You're inside of your life. So it's hard for you to see your blind spots. But my job as her wealth coach is to be able to see the blind spots that she has. And so as I'm hearing her talk about the things, and I already know that this lady has like amazing, even more amazing things to do, but she doesn't have to do that unwell. I identified that there was a part of her team that she was missing. And so by just being in that community, by being in that space, by presenting her situation and where she was feeling the overwhelm, she was able to leave the call with relief, right? Knowing the exact person that was missing on her team. And when she now brings in this person, she's able to not limit herself anymore. She's not feeling overwhelmed. She already feels relief. She knows exactly what to do, what is missing, so that because of that, now she's going to be able to grow even our area of expertise and influence even more. This is how women are able to build and scale their life without overwhelm. It's not by doing it alone. So again, is it that smart women do it alone? No, we don't do it alone. We do it with the right team, but we also make sure we're not abdicating our responsibilities. We are delegating, we are scaling, we're building our lives. So what I want you to ask yourself is this: in what areas of your life are you doing it alone? In what area of your life do you need support? In what area of building this richer, freer, more wealthy life do you need to find the right space, the right community, the right bird's eye view person who can be a mentor or a coach? Because at the end of the day, you're not doing all of this so you can grind harder. You're doing all of this so you can do it wiser, healthier, so that you can live your rich life, so that you can have the space to be able to do the things that you truly want to do. But more than anything else, so that you don't look back at your life wishing you had done it differently. You don't look back at your life with regret because you you underperformed, you undercreated because you already knew that you were made for so much more. You just did not know how to achieve the so much more without overwhelm. And this is how you create your rich and wealthy life. I hope this has been helpful for you. By the way, if you're a woman physician and you're like Latifat, I want that. I want that support. I want that community. You definitely should check out the Wealth Village. Depending on when you're listening to this, we're going to be hosting an open house. So go to moneyfitmd.com/open house. You can get the link to come check us out. You will hear from our members. You hear what we're about. You hear what we do, how we serve people. And that way you will leave knowing if this is the right space for you or not. Thank you for listening. If this has been helpful, don't forget to share it with another woman physician that could benefit. Have a good rest of the day. Goodbye.